Yeah, I hear ya. Be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna have wine. So, about an hour ago, I got the munchies. Had a craving for strawberry shortcake. Problem is, I don't have any cake. And my strawberries are frozen. My whipped cream is still in whole cream form, but the first step is this, which is the cake. So I broke out all the goodies and whooped this up. And autofocus. Anyways, it appears to be done, but I want it a little golden up there, but I guess I don't need it. So anyways, I'll let you know what happens after it cools down and I get it out. I just want to see that it tastes good, because making a cake out of straight up, ingredients: flour, sugar, salt, baking soda, baking powder, vanilla, butter, may not always turn out the same. So, bon appetit. I have other ideas for the cake now that I've had 3 hours to think about it. So I trimmed the top, and that looks so pretty. Look at all the air holes. And so I'm gonna use that tomorrow to make a sugar-free chocolate cream cheese filling for it, double layer. But I get all the good pieces and parts here, and since I still wanted, strawberry shortcake, strawberries and cream, but it's 2:45 in the morning, I'm lazy and really tired, I decided to make a strawberry blueberry cream to just dump over the top of it, and then I can enjoy it all together. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I have no idea how it's supposed to turn out, but we're going to try it. I finger tasted it. So all it is strawberries frozen, and that's the other part, is my fruits are frozen, so it's kind of all I've got, and I didn't have time, so I put the frozen ones in. So frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, dirty counter, empty orange bottle. But since I didn't want to use sugar, I use Zarin grape molasses. Only about a tablespoon in there. A little bit of salt, so sea salt, and shoved it in the blender. That looks ugly, doesn't it? Shoved it in the blender and whipped it up until it got almost to. So basically, the fruit, put in a quarter cup of water just to help it get started, and then the grape molasses after it blended just maybe a minute or so, and then whole whipping cream, and I just drizzled it in there. So it took it from like a quarter cup or half a cup up to a full cup level, and then just let it run for about 7 minutes. Now, I really would have liked it to be a little thicker, but that's plenty thick enough. And it tastes good. So anyways, there's my I got a craving at midnight, want strawberry shortcake. Now it's 2:45 and I have to make a choice of either going to bed or, deal with my sweet tooth. And so whatever this is called, it's my strawberry blueberry cream goo shortcake. That's what I'm calling it. A strawberry blueberry cream goo shortcake. Bye. Part 2 for the strawberry shortcake. That's not going to be a strawberry shortcake. So first things first is, here's the cake, but I have to cut it into 2 pieces. So what's the easiest way to take a cake and cut it into 2 pieces, half and half, full moon, full moon? Well, put your cake on a plate, take another plate same size and put it over the top and even it up. You want to get so it's even, right? And then get a knife that can span the whole distance, and then you will start on this side and cut across just like that. So since I can't hold the camera and cut and hold the plate at the same time, I will be right back. All the way through. Finish that up there. I see it went all the way through. Now the next thing you'll do is, hopefully you cooked a nice cake that doesn't fall into a hump of shit when you go to move it over, but lay it over and there you go. Now here's the trick. Did you cut a really thin one and a really thick one? Well, look at the side of it. It's like finger thick. So that's it. Next thing is to make up the frosting that you're going to use. Now in this case, I was going to make a sugar-free sour cream chocolate cream frosting, but I didn't have the right non-sugar substitute, so I made it out of the grape molasses that I showed you last night. It doesn't matter, it's sugar, sugar. So anyways, next thing is to put it on and blend it up, so I'll be right back. I'll go into the nuances of how to make frosting. Just Google it, but where the real critical part of it is take your time. And when it says whip some air into it or other things, you really want to do that. You want it to come out really nice. It's never going to focus with this phone, but really nice, really smooth, kind of like baby poop. Kind of looks like it, but it tastes really nice. But so it's just cream cheese, regular cream, sugar and cocoa, and it's really nice. So you take this and you decide which one, that one or that one. You want to slab it into the middle, and you want to put it in same thickness, right? Just like as thick as your finger. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. And again, if you need to watch somebody do this, Google it, because there's 10 million fools out there that waste time showing you how to spread chocolate between 2 pieces of bread. Well, that's really all it is. Anyways, be right back. Okay, so part 12,007, I don't know which one it is done. Spread in the middle. Now the slice that I chose was really the bottom slice. So if you pull it out of the pan, the one that's got the brownie stuff on the bottom and not the double-sided foamy part, that's why I do it. It's just because it's got more structure to it. It'll hold up longer than this one over here will. So that's why I did that. And so the next part of this is to take this one, pick it up, put it on this one, and like before, if you need to see somebody do that, Google it. Somebody out there is going to show you what it takes to pick up a piece of cake and put it on another piece of cake. I am going to use a spatula and my hands and lift it up from there and move it over to there and put it on top. Then I'm going to take this and put it on top of this, and then take the rest of it and smush it all around the sides. So I'll be back. So it's moved, but I wanted to take a little bit of time just real quick to maybe throw a little bit to you. And there's nothing worse than a dry cake. What that really means is there's no moisture in it. It's just, crumbly, and well, you have to drink a whole cup of milk just to gag it down. Yeah, we all have had moms and grams that have done that, and we were all kind enough to not tell them that sucked. So here's the test. Dry hand, lay it on the cake, right, and then lift your hand up, and if it doesn't come back looking like that, pick the whole thing up, take it over the trash bin and throw it in there and start over again and make another cake. If you need to know how to do that, Google it. There's 10 million fools out there that show you how to make a cake. How to make it moist, however, that's kind of a little bit of practice, but there's two things that make it moist. You'll notice my hand wasn't wet, it was oily. So add enough oil and water and egg into the batter so that it turns out moist and retains its moisture. Remember, this is made, 24 hours ago and has sat out on the counter. I mean, it was under a plate, but sat out under, on the counter to the air conditioning, sucking the air out of, your home and your body and your mind. But it's still moist, and that's the goal. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead, finish the top of this with the rest of the chocolate, and then I'll come back because I have an idea, because I'm still kind of stuck on this whole strawberry shortcake thing that I was thinking of last night. And I still have the frozen strawberries, but I've got frozen blueberries, frozen raspberries, frozen blackberries. I even have some frozen shrimp. I'm not sure I'm going to put those on yet though. Alright, I'll be back later. Okay, now this is an important part, so I thought I'd let you in on a little secret before I go any further. Each layer took about 3 scoops. And that's just, that gives you the consistency of same size roughly. But you'll notice I'm not running down the edge of the plate anywhere. If you got a breakout, seal it up. And you'll just notice it's kind of like a large, cookie sandwich. So the last piece I'm going to do is take what's left of here and actually put it on the top so it does start drizzling down the side. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to layer it out and smooth it out so it's consistent all over it. So I'll show you how I do that real quick, and then, I'm not going to show you. If you want to find out how to do that, go out and Google it. There's like 27 million people out there to show you how to use a spatula. You're a grown up, you ought to figure that out on your own. Okay. Last but not least, now this frosting is a little fluid. It's been out now for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to put it back in the fridge. But I wanted to bring this up just to make a little point here. Presentation is as important as the taste of a thing. And if it looks ugly, I don't care how good it tastes, it isn't going to be as appealing to the person who eats it versus something that is physically appealing as well as hitting all the rest of their senses. So spend a little extra time, clean up the little bit of ick on the side. I mean, it's just frosting. You ought to enjoy yourself doing it. And then make sure as you go around that you kind of touch up spots that might need a little touching up, and just smooth it out. And then put it in the fridge for a little while so that the frosting itself can solidify a little bit more again. And then hopefully in that time I should, well, no, it's 11 o'clock at night, so tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and get into the final part of this, which, because I want to shore up the sides, I'm probably going to use vanilla wafers or Nilla wafers and just make a fence around it, you know, like that. And then add the strawberries, blueberries, raspberries up on top if I feel like it, and if I can wait the whole night without coming out here and destroying the cake with my appetite for it. So that's it. See you later. Part 2 of build my cake that I started the other night, or last night, or whenever I started it. I don't remember now. So I require whipped cream, so I'm going to make some heavy whipping cream. You can use any kind of sugar. In this case today I'm going to use the confectioner's sugar. Now it's got cornstarch in it so it doesn't cake up, but you know, however you want to do it, go Google it. There's 10 billion people out there that can teach you how to make whipped cream. Me, I'm going to make it my way. That's with that, and I might put a touch of vanilla in. So I'll let you know when I finish. Okay, so that's about 1 cup. That is exactly 1 cap full of vanilla, and because I don't like mine super sweet, that's 1 tablespoon of confectioner's sugar. Now, I've seen people say 1/4 cup of this or 1/2 cup of that or blah 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 blah. Make it to the way that you want it. In this case, I got a lot of sweetener in the cake, so I just want enough to give it just a tinge of sweetness. So that's all I'm doing. It's all in there. Now I'm going to show you what I do. I turn it on, and then I'll let it incorporate. Spin around, you know, get all the gunk mixed up. I'll get a rubber spatula and grab that junk off the side. I'll let it run like this for about 30 seconds, and then I'll do what the name says, whip it. I'll let you know when I'm done. Bye. Should we go? You see those bubbles around the side? That's about all the faster you really need to go. Now, critical piece. You whip it too much, you make butter. So don't do that. Unless your goal is to make sweetened butter, then you're okay. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you to put in here was about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That kind of, when you put a lot of sugar in, counterbalances the sugar. In this case, I didn't do that because I don't have a lot of sugar in there. So, anyways, get your bubbles going. Then when you see them start doing what they're doing now, which is disintegrating a little bit, you kick up the speed a little bit. And that's about it. And just leave it there, and you'll get whipped cream. So I'll be back as soon as I have it. Almost ruined it. Depending on the consistency, that's about the consistency that you want. Any thinner, it's runny. Any thicker, you got butter. So here, let me flip it back. That is the consistency that you want. Doesn't fall off your finger, hasn't turned to butter yet. and because I'm going to put it in a bag here in a second, you'll understand why you want it thick rather than runny. Those that remember where I last left off with it, here it is. And I'm going to take this bag with the cream in it and start doing things with it. Now, I don't have any of those fancy bags that those fancy schmoes on TV that, you know, get paid $1 million to show you how to do this. So all I did was take a bag, cut a very tiny hole in the end, tiny, like tiny. If you don't know what tiny is, go out and Google it. You'll figure it out. And then I'm going to start squeezing stuff around the edges. Now, it doesn't give you any of those fancy shapes, but I'm not into the fancy shape. I actually just want something that's operational, right? So whipped cream around the edges in a kind of consistent way. So I will be back once I'm done. Okay, this is what I mean by functional. I just wanted it to go around the cake like this because my next step just requires having some place to hold what I'm about to do next. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back. The very next 2 ingredients: Hershey's cocoa, Nilla wafers. Now, don't waste your time Googling how do I make Nilla wafers. Trust me. Go out and buy yourself a box. You'll save yourself a whole lot of time and grief for what they really are. That's it. So I'll be back. Stage is, well, almost complete. Just aesthetics. Kind of even things up. Give a little squish. Now, if you do it right, you're never going to end up with the right size piece for the last one. So, you know what? Stick a piece in there. Go around, just even these up, give them a smoosh in. Just so they're well established and they won't fall out when you move it. Just go around to make sure they're all there. And if you need to clean something up, finger taste it. But okay, so that's it there. Now, this goes back in the fridge now after this for about 30 minutes, and then you go to the next step. It's complete, and I heard you. Some of you don't have the plastic bags, or you don't get the results with it, or whatever excuse you think you want to make. I'm going to give you an option. Now, all of you don't have it, but you can go out and buy about a dozen of them for $6-7. I'm going to use a syringe. Let you know how it works out. Bye. Last step, add your fruit. All of mine were frozen, so I have mushy raspberries, frozen blueberries, mushy strawberries, whipped cream all around, Nilla wafers dipped in chocolate powder, more whipped cream around on top of it. So I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator, let it set up for a good couple of hours till everything is set, otherwise the whipped cream might liquefy a little bit. And once that's done, I'm going to take a picture of me eating it. So hope you enjoyed it. What's the recipe? Yeah, go out and Google it. There's like 27 billion people out there that actually have a recipe for something like this. So, bye. Okay, so what do you do with the leftover cream, whipped cream, leftover frosting? Well, you whip it all together, stick it in a tub, throw it in the freezer, and you'll have ice cream, chocolate, for sometime down the road when you run out of that awesome cake. Bye.